There's an S100 based machine. Basically, it's a board with a whole lot of sockets in it that look like this, and you plug these plug-in boards, like this one, into the board along the back. It's just a bus board. This particular board contains 16K of static memory, 16 kilobytes of static RAM on this board, and the whole BBS was running in 64K of memory. That was in the pre-PC, pre-Windows glut days. So this was a 16K memory board. That was the height of technology in about 1980, and I'm just wondering if there's a date on it, but about 1978.
And how much was it, you know?
Oh, I hate to think. Hundreds of dollars. 16K of memory. This is was very expensive buying this stuff, and almost all of this is kits, material I put together myself, either using circuit board processors or using wire wrap. You can see that a lot of these boards have got these big pins out the back. They're wire wrap. If I turn the unit over a bit more, maybe you can see the wires and the pins on the back of the boards.
Let me
zoom in.
Yep. Alright, you wanna...
Okay, so on the back of the boards you've got these pins, and you run wires between them. There's a little wire wrap tool, and each one of those wires is twisted by hand, calculated by hand. You figure out where it goes, and that's how you used to connect together computers in those days. At the terrific bus speeds of 2 megahertz or thereabouts for the CPU, that was capable of being carried in rat's nest wires like that. Yeah, this modem really consists of 3 generations of modem hardware. The basic modem here is the one that I designed in Australia, were used in Australia. It had the tones were generated digitally, and I had all these diodes. I could change the position of the diodes to get different tones, because there were a number of different standards in use in the world at that time. There was a different standard in Australia, there's a different standard in the US. Later on I figured out a way of putting in these dip switches so I could switch between the Australian and US standards. And then a little bit later than that, this Apple II card came out from Novation, and Novation was one of the earlier modem manufacturers, and this had a DSP on it, an actual processor, and it was actually producing the demodulation of the files over the internet. Over the phone lines, demodulation using a DSP. And then eventually, sometime in history, there's no date on it, but I guess it's probably around the mid-80s, early to mid-80s, I added onto it this Motorola one-chip modem, the 145445, which was the first one-chip modem, and basically that one chip on this board, the ceramic chip, does the job of pretty well everything on the green board from 3 or 4 years before. But this modem actually sat there for close on 10 years, faithfully answering all the calls coming in, and it grew over the years, but it was always reliable, and it just kept on working. Nowadays, of course, it sits on the shelf.